Good Wednesday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich, and this is your outlook for March 18th, 2015. And we're going to have a much colder day today with winds coming out of the northwest. Probably just gusty this morning, though. That's been because of the incoming high pressure to our west and exiting low pressure to our northeast here. So the pressure gradient is not going to be too strong, not as much as it was in the overnight hours here. So I'm not expecting the winds to really be too terrible. Might start off a little bit gusty in the morning, but I think as the day wears on, we're going to subside. High pressure is sitting out here at this point over the Ohio Valley, actually moving into the Ohio Valley from the west. This is going to move to a position just to our south by the time we get into Thursdays. In 24 hours, it goes from about the Chicago area down here to the Delmarva. So we're going to move ahead here, not expecting any precipitation at all. We're going to be bright and sunny straight through Thursday. The coldest day is going to be today, and then as we get into Thursday, it'll moderate slightly, only by about 3 or 4 degrees. Nothing too crazy, but you can see here by Thursday morning, high pressure now sitting right over top of the Delmarva, so still bright sunny skies here. Our attention is now going to turn to what we're expecting here for Friday, and that's already starting to enter the picture here. If you look to our southwest here, you see all this precipitation gathering here to our southwest. This is going to be moving toward the area here on Friday. And I think this is going to be one of those deals where it starts in the morning, but not in the pre-dawn hours. So if it was starting in the pre-dawn hours, we would be dealing with a little bit more of a threat of possible accumulations on roadways and some grassy accumulations a little bit further south. But I do think since it's coming in a little bit later, we're going to have the March sun, which is very, very strong. March sun right now is the equivalent of the sun in late September. So as in terms of sun angle, so that sun is very powerful. Even if it's behind the clouds, will have a radiational effect on the snow falling and whether or not it sticks. And in some areas, it'll have a lot of difficulty doing so until you get to areas of elevation. And mainly central and northern areas can expect some minor accumulations here on Friday. Let's get into that here now. By the way, the model of choice I'm using here is the UK Met. This is not something I normally use, but I think this has the best handle on this system as far as placement of the precipitation. Maybe not so much with the snow maps printing out. I'll show you that here in a second. But here's what we're looking at for Friday morning. This is 8 a.m. Everything is falling through 8 a.m. and this is in liquid form here. Now, it's not a rain snow map here. This is a indication of liquid equivalent that will have fallen. So if you melted down the snowflake and turned that into rain, this is what will have accumulated through 8 a.m. Friday. This is going to continue off to the northeast here, and you can see by the time we get into early afternoon of Friday, everyone in the coverage area is under the influence of either rain or snow. Here, right that I'm going to draw is your 32-degree line. This is your areas north of this will be below freezing according to this model at the surface. So anything up here across northeastern PA, mainly I-78, I-287 in New Jersey, and points north, we'll be looking at snow. Still going to have snow falling further south of this line here, but snow falling and snow accumulating are two different things, especially when we get into March, for those reasons that I mentioned about this March sun angle and falling at an inopportune time during the day. If this was coming in at night and it was falling overnight, you'd have a lot better chance of having those accumulations on the roadways and or grassy surfaces, non-paved surfaces, cars, trees, things like that. So we get a little bit further here. You can see with that rain-snow line being sitting up right along I-78, 287, pretty much stays intact. This area of low pressure will actually redevelop offshore here, but it'll be too late to get our area into any significant accumulation. So another thing that if you're going to look for snow to accumulate, you're going to need some pretty heavy rates in order for the column to cool enough from the upper levels all the way down to the surface. And we're really not going to have anything really heavy except further south, but there the surface temperatures are so warm that it really doesn't matter. So anywhere up here that is below 32 or in the marginal areas, it'll be falling as snow, but we'll be struggling to accumulate until you get to safe elevations for a couple inches or thereabout. Would be probably above 750 feet, but areas below that can get a slushy inch or two of accumulations before this moves out of here. I do want to show you one more frame here until we go to the snow map here, and that is looking at Saturday. This is Friday evening where this is wrapping up and pulling away. But when we get to the snow map here of the UK Met, you can see the model can't figure out the difference between snow falling and snow accumulating. So it's assuming that 4 or 5 inches of snow is falling over a very vast area here that I'm circling here. But the problem is, again, you're going to have those marginal temperatures of the surface. It's not accounting for what the surface temperatures are going to be down here. I mean, the snow maps are based off of a 850 millibar algorithm, which means it's seeing the temperature up at about 5,000 feet and figuring that's going to be the temperature of the surface. Well, it's not going to be. So we're not going to have 4 or 5 inches across these areas here. We're looking at maybe an inch or two. Maybe if you get in the higher elevations, those higher elevations I spoke of above 750 feet, you could get into some accumulations, maybe a 3. Wouldn't be surprised to see a 4-inch spot somewhere here, but that's your upside. Most areas, again, mainly along and north of I-78 and 287 in New Jersey. Anywhere north of there can get maybe a slushy inch or 2 if you're lucky. That's what we're looking at. Going beyond this system, looks like we're going to have clearing conditions as we get into the weekend here. Maybe a leftover rain shower here on Saturday. Saturday is actually going to be a warm-up day where you're going to have temperatures ahead of a cold front that's approaching. Cold front's going to move down to the south here, and ahead of that, southwesterly winds are going to make temperatures shoot back up into the upper 40s to near 50. So whatever happens on Friday will be long forgotten and a distant memory. And then we get into beyond the cold front here on Sunday and into Monday. We're going to have temperatures dropping again under clear skies, but we do have temperatures dropping back into the 30s again for both Sunday and Monday. So it will be chilly with the northwest wind picking up again on Sunday and some breezing conditions re-entering the picture. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for March 18th, 2015. Have a great Wednesday.